On this week's show, Disney Infinity 2.0 Digital, the final two Marvel figures, and Pixar Post joining us. All this and more on episode 59 of the Inside Infinity podcast. Inside Infinity is brought to you with support from Evilos Customs. Evilos.com is your #1 custom Disney Infinity figures. This month, Evilos is giving us a custom Randall figure to celebrate the launch of 2.0. Head over to the blog to find out more.
What's up, guys? This is John Vignacchi, executive producer on Disney Infinity, and you are listening to Inside Infinity, the first official Disney Infinity podcast on the net.
Hello everyone, welcome to episode number 59 of the Inside Infinity podcast. I am tonight's host, gathered with a lot of other guest hosts. I'm so excited for tonight's show. It's going to be an incredible one. So you all know who I am, so I'm not going to go into that. But I am going to say hello to our good friend Sarah and Pretentious Steve over there. Welcome to the show tonight, guys.
Hi.
I like that name. Thank you, Will. Pretentious Steve. I'll take that.
You're welcome. Why are you so dressed up?
Well, I'll tell you why. Because on this show, we're supposed to raise this up from my old T-shirt and sitting in underwear to a new art form. Like, we have to raise the quality. But the main reason is because the whole reason I even listen to podcasts today is because now we're here with TJ and Julie, and you have to step it up. So Sarah didn't agree with me, but I did. So this is all because my favorite podcasters outside of you, William, are these two right here, and I'm really excited. Honestly, this is kind of like being on a show with a celebrity. I like these guys a lot. They're awesome.
Geez, how do we live up to that?
I'll take it.
Thank you.
Dress better. I didn't get the memo. I didn't know.
I'm in a T-shirt, so.
Yeah, well, as am I. But those two voices that you may or may not be familiar with are very good friends of the show. I'd like to welcome for the first time ever on Inside Infinity, Julie and TJ from PixarPost.com and Pixar Post podcast. How are the two of you doing tonight?
Awesome.
And fantastic.
That is great. So you're not wearing, TJ, you're not wearing a suit, but you are wearing some pretty colorful, a colorful outfit. Can you?
Yes, it is my John Lasseter inspired Toy Story 3 Ryan Spooner shirt. And it is sold exclusively at the Pixar Studio Store.
What? How did you get that?
Well, we went to the studio store.
Show off.
I know, right? That's like only royalty and like presidential candidates say allowed in places like that, I thought.
Ironically, when we were recording our last podcast, there was a White House event that was going on at that time.
Yeah, so funny you should mention presidential events.
So it's true. It is true.
Wow, that is serendipitous.
There you go. But underneath my my John Lasseter Pixar-inspired garb, as well as Pixar hat, is, of course, I had to wear the Disney Infinity 2.0 shirt.
That's awesome. You just got that today, didn't you?
I did. We had one of our amazing readers, and I won't go into too much of this, but Paulina, who is a great friend of ours, we've actually met up with her when we were in Disneyland as well. She sent over the shirt. She sent me over the kitten fists, which Steve is very excited that we have. And she sent over a couple other things. Like, she even just got some of the other swag, like the Groot mask and all that kind of stuff. So it's just super cool. So yeah, so we got loaded up today with Disney Infinity 2.0 stuff, and we are more than ready for it to be here.
So you're just as excited as the rest of us, huh?
Of course.
Oh, yes.
We're so close to launch, too. It's crazy that, I guess, for the UK and other parts of the world, including Australia, it's releasing this Friday, and then for us, It's next Tuesday. So it's getting close. So I gotta admit, I do dig your outfit. I think it's very respectable. But I do have to send it back over to Steve because I have a question. Steve, I don't wear suits very often, and so I sometimes I don't know how to pair suit jackets with suit pants. So could you do me a favor and just show me what your suit pants look like?
I would prefer not to because I want to keep it you don't see Al Roker. Well, actually, you do see Al Roker standing up. You don't see the other famous people standing up. Will, just relax and let's get on with it.
So you're comparing yourself to a Brian Williams.
You know, that was fun, and I'm just saying that other people that do broadcasts say, hey, well, I've never seen you stand up once. You always wait after drinking 5 gallons of water to get up post-show. Why would I stand up mid-show?
I thought you could teach me something. That's all I'm asking about. I just want you to teach me something.
Usually I see what you're doing.
I love it.
Just a tip, Will, they're sold together. It's not that complex of a thing. You don't have to buy them in separate stores. They're usually together. So.
Oh, okay. So.
Cheers to matching suit pants, Will. Nice try, though.
Well, look at this. We're like the Pixar mug crew.
Okay. Can I say something real quick about the mugs? Okay. That is the mug. I was actually talking about that exact mug today. That is the most uncomfortable to hold mug in the history of mugs because the handle, you see what I'm talking about? It's the skinny side. Try holding that like that. It rubs your finger. I never use it because it's the most uncomfortable mug ever.
Oh,
well, fantastic. That's great to know. Thanks. Thanks as we're using it. Yeah.
Yes. Cheers to that.
That's what we like to do. If you guys are unfamiliar, it sounds like you listen to the show, but the thing we like to do the most is give each other a hard time. So I'm glad Steve is running you through your paces already at the top of the show.
Of course.
You tried to start it with me first, though, Will, so let's all back up a little bit.
Well, because you're being resistant and not showing your pants.
Right. That just something doesn't add up there.
They're pure. They're the same color. They're black. Relax. Let's keep going.
All right.
We all know that's a lie.
And the chat room knows it's a lie too.
And the chat room doesn't know anything.
Speaking of the chat room, welcome everyone who is joining us for this very, very fun episode of Inside Infinity. If you'd like to watch and listen to us and talk with us, you can do that each and every Monday. You can just head on over to DisneyInfinity.tv/live and you can watch us and chat with us. We have a ton of people in there tonight. We have lots of regulars, but hopefully we got some new faces in there as well. There are a few names that I don't recognize. So welcome to all the old and new alike. I think we're gonna have a fun show ahead of you if the first part is any indication. So with that, what do you think? Should we go ahead and get things started?
Why not?
All right. I do have to mention before I move on, because I almost forgot. So this podcast is brought to you in partnership with the Disney Infinity Fans Forum, DisneyInfinityFans.com, where you can go and find all your Disney Infinity related news, rumors, and community. So head on over to DisneyInfinityFans.com. Also check out our sister podcasting network, VGPodcast.com, where you can listen to other video game related podcasts that aren't necessarily Disney Infinity related. So that's a good segue, talking about websites. So Julie and TJ, you two run your own website as well.
Absolutely. Yes, we run PixarPost.com.
What can you tell us a little bit about the Pixar Post, or PixarPost.com?
That is not a problem. You can throw in the all you want. But first things first, I would like Steve's undivided attention. He seems to be quite distracted, pointing at things, looking around, and I think it's only polite as a man that doesn't wear black suit pants to pay attention as the guests all talk.
I'm glad someone finally called him out on this, because Sarah is always in tune, and she's always like hitting him and trying to get.
No, Will, come on. It's one thing to throw me under the bus. It's another thing to really put her on a pedestal. No. She barely pays attention as we are. But I'm sorry, TJ. Go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Well, the shadows are now distracting on your face.
Making it very intense.
Yeah. I'm just kidding. All right, so yes, Pixar Post. So what we do is we talk about all the latest news from Pixar, of course. Everything related to Disney Infinity, the first version that came out. Look at this. He's even pulling up our site. We talk about all the press releases. We've got the premiere of Lava. We have a Pixar book club. We have our own forum. We have a podcast. We have a gallery as well as some fan art. We do reviews. We do interviews with Pixar employees as well as directors. It is a full-fledged, we consider it, we are so passionate about Pixar that we wanted to, actually it was Julie's idea to start the site.
It was.
She said, I want to start a website and I want to write, and I love Disney, but there's a ton of Disney sites out there, and you love Pixar, so maybe we'll do a Pixar site. And I'm a cheapwad, so I was like, okay, well, give me a business plan here of how this is going to work. And anyways, long story short, she pulled it all together, and I've been along for the ride, so it's been fantastic. We write on it all the time, whether it be a post or a forum, or definitely the most fun thing, and I'll stop railroading your podcast here in a second.
Not at all.
But definitely the most fun thing is what we're doing as a portion of our podcast right now is the Pixar Pipeline interview, where we're interviewing a Pixar employee from each department as the story finds its way from concept to screen. So it's a fantastic and fun time to interview all these different Pixar people and hear how their group and department helps in getting that movie all the way to the screen.
That's an awesome idea. I love that. So I just was fortunate enough to go to the Toy Box Summit, and part of that experience was going on a tour of the studio, and they kind of had the different departments, and you would go and speak to one person, and they would give you just a very, very brief glimpse of the overall process, but it gave a really good kind of full circle idea of the overall process, and it kind of sounds like that's what you guys are doing, but from a Pixar perspective, and it sounds like a lot more in depth as well, right?
I wouldn't say it's not necessarily more in depth. It's just that we're spreading it out over time. You had to cram it all into that weekend.
It's a little more intimate.
Right.
I guess
Okay.
hearing their personal journey to the studio and like what they do on a day-to-day basis, getting to know them on a more personal basis.
That's so cool, because that's a world that not many people really get to have access to or ever really get experience with. So it's really cool that the two of you are bringing that to people and Pixar fans.
Yeah, it was really fun. We ended up pitching the idea to Pixar, and they ended up loving it.
They loved it.
They gave it the name Pixar Pipeline Project, and we kind of ran with it from there. So it's been a lot of fun. And go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say. So where can people find the Pixar Pipeline stuff?
That is all part of our podcast. So it's if you just go to pixarpost.com, which is under our name there, and then you can just go ahead and click on the podcast tab, and you'll see each one of the episodes that's listed there, like episode 31. We're actually going to be doing another post to call more attention to it soon about just specifically calling out the pipeline process, the project. But yeah, it's basically just going down the line. It'll say who we're interviewing, and you'll see their picture in the upper left.
Yeah.
So Aaron Hartline, Meyer Abasidi, you got Craig Foster. It goes through. So yeah, it's their pictures up there always.
That's sweet. So that's a really, really cool series. So how long have the two of you been doing Pixar Post?
March of 2012.
Wow.
Yep. So a little over 2 years, not too long, but we just, once we got started on it, we never stopped. And luckily, and without sarcasm, I know we throw a lot of sarcasm around, but luckily, the connections of Steve ended up bringing you and I together, Will, to talk. So thank you, Steve.
Yeah.
Is that someone not being a jerk to me on the show? I am not used to that. Sorry, Will.
You don't know what to do with yourself.
No. And I said this before, but April of 2012, because I went back and looked it up to make sure I knew, was the first time I had ever listened to a podcast, ever, and it was your guys' show. And then I started harassing you, and you were really nice responding back to me on direct messages. And so we've been in touch for quite a while now. But the first show I ever listened to on any sort of internet, anything, was your guys' show. And then you had mentioned Will's show, and then I listened to Will's because of being on your, sort of listening to your show. So
it's like all full circle.
It has come full circle. Unfortunately, Will's involved, but yeah, it's kind of.
Well, and
I
then
just want to confess that I didn't know anything about your podcast. I'm just putting this out on the table right now. I just heard about you guys today, other than the times that he mentions you every 5 seconds. But yeah. This is cool. I'm glad I know you guys now, because this seems like a really cool thing.
Make me sound
Well, thank you.
Thank
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you Google Partysaurus Rex, you will only see our stuff. That's like our claim to fame, was Partysaurus Rex.
why? What was it about Partysaurus Rex? And I'm testing it right now. I'm gonna.
Oh, I love it.
Oh, I created a custom toy.
It's up on the shelf. Go grab it.
It's back there.
a custom toy. It's an exact replica from the movie, and they took it on a tour of California.
We did. We took it on a tour everywhere. I'll be honest with you. We took that thing around. You should have seen her taking it through airport security.
Cool. Oh, that is
unbelievable.
Awesome.
Oh my gosh.
That's spot on.
Like awesome.
So she custom molded the hair out of clay, painted like the dots on the helmet and everything. They didn't sell the beads that were the right color, so she painted and did all that stuff too. So yeah, it's wild stuff.
So I don't know if you know the name, but one of our loyal listeners, he was at the summit. He goes by the name of Model Train Man on the forums, and
I know he's a Rex fanatic.
He is a Rex fanatic, so he is going to love that.
Yes.
I'm
sure he. Go ahead, Steve.
I was gonna say, while you're talking about Julie's perfectionist touch, do you guys have the dream book? The dream journal that you
yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that blew my mind, because the way on your show you described it, you were like, no, it's not perfect. It needs to be slightly different. And then it was, I love it. That's the other thing that she made that blew my mind.
Yeah, go ahead and get the autographed one if you will. It's up top there.
They're going to make us all look really bad.
Wait, you're talking about the dream journal from Monsters University, right?
Of course I am. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, well she was grabbing the Up book that she made me, the adventure book.
Oh no, the one that you showed, what's his name at the thing, and that's it. Yeah, that's art.
Yeah, hang on. I gotta get all the stuff. I gotta get all of our Pixar stuff out of it first. But
ooh, big man over there wearing his John Lasseter shirt.
If you know that is so spot on, and they brought it in. Dan's signed it is amazing.
Yeah, so the director of Monsters University is Dan Scanlon. Luckily enough, he's from Michigan as well, where we are located, and he held his charity press event for the movie here, and we were able to meet up with him. And Julie was obsessed with this from the movie, like the 2-second clip where Art says, you know, like, I made you dream journals or whatever. And so she made me, like...
I was obsessed. Like I said, you have to make this. And I, like, stood over him. I'm like, nope, it's not good enough.
Yeah. She's like, draw it again, slave.
But it turned out great.
That's incredible.
So, but this show is supposed to be about Disney Infinity, and I apologize for taking it over here.
No, there is no apology. See, you know what? Disney Infinity, we're lucky it has that Disney name in it, because it's all one big happy family. So we are so happy to have you on, and I got to say thank you, Steve, for bringing us kind of all together. We actually guested on one of your shows way back when, probably a year ago, and it's just it's cool to have us all together again. And
absolutely.
Normally, I'm not the fifth wheel, but in this case, I feel like I should have brought my wife on the show. Next time, I'll show her this episode, and then maybe we can all guilt her into joining us for a future significant other show.
Couples Edition 2.0.
Couples Edition 2.0.
Like it.
Great. So that's a little bit about what you do as far as your website. You're also both avid Disney Infinity fans, right? You've played. I know you bought. I still remember you bought the Wii version originally, and then you went out and upgraded just because you found out how not really full-featured the Wii version was, right?
Yes,
yeah.
Literally, it was the next day.
So
he got home, played it the entire night, just the Incredibles playset, and then that next morning, he was like, we were at Toys R Us when they opened, and he bought the Wii U console.
The console,
right? Yeah.
He's like, I need this because the Wii version is not good.
Well, and I had it for more than a day, but so she's saying too. Well, that's probably right. But what it was because, and Steve knows about this because he's heard me complain about it many, many times, is the fact that after I played first off, it was like the old school where you stick in like a disc in like a hard drive in like a computer. And it's like when you get to when you're crossing from one island to the next in The Incredibles, it's like insert disc 2 and you put it in. It's like loading up. It was terrible. So it would you'd hit like a wall. You'd be driving and you'd hit a wall and then have to load into the next island. And then it would go into that one. And if you'd even back up a half of like millimeter, it would all of a sudden have to load back into the other island. It was awful. And then I beat the entire playset like in no time at all. And then, well, literally right before I finished it, I should say, it crashed and I lost everything. So then I beat the entire thing again just to like show it to the game.
Out of spite.
Yeah. It's of the man.
Yeah. And then I got frustrated with that, so I'm like, you know what? We're taking this back, and I'm buying a Wii U today.
That's awesome.
So yes, so I have had many of an experience with the Incredibles playset, and consider myself an expert at it.
Let me ask you this: how long did it take you to complete it?
Ooh, well, the first time through,
Well,
I know where this is going.
Cut it out.
I know where this is going. I don't know. Maybe I can't really say. See, the first time through, it was on the Wii version, and it didn't have as much stuff. Like they didn't have as many of the green and red capsules. So I'd say it was like 6.5, 7 hours.
Shut up. Just stop.
And then when I completed it on the Wii U, because once I brought it home, I did the same thing, and that was probably about 9 hours.
Okay.
Straight.
All right.
Straight, yeah.
So if
including all capsules.
If you add both of those together, it's still less than like 28, right? That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
My internet's been bad all day. Let's just go on to the next. It's hard for me.
It's still much, much less time and total hours than Mr. Cargo Pants.
I don't know what you mean. I don't know.
I haven't beat it yet, though, Steve.
Well, let me shift back away from you guys making fun of me for a second. My favorite episode is the one where you guys were talking about exactly what you're saying, and Julie going, I got to play with Jack Sparrow for a minute, but then he took it back.
I still have only played Jack Sparrow for like a minute.
That's what I'm saying. It was hysterical.
That's heartbreaking. What, you didn't like? You know you got a new figure with the Wii U version, right? TJ, are you holding out on Julie? Are you hiding Sparrow for yourself?
Oh, he's shared now, but
Oh, at the
Back
beginning,
then.
it was a big problem, yes.
Oh, that's too funny. So are you sticking with the Wii U version for 2.0?
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, and the only reason for that is because I don't consider myself, or either of us really, are not hardcore gamers. And frankly, like the Mario series is the series that brought us in with the Wii from Nintendo at the very beginning. And I like just, on like a casual night, like you can just go throw on some Mario and you don't have to get all into it. You can just play a little bit and then walk away. And so we feel like we have to keep that.
Makes sense. And that's the only system that you can get. Well, you probably have listened to or heard Lloyd a few times. He is a diehard Nintendo fan, so he thinks in a lot of ways the Wii U is the perfect system because it gives you those games and then all of the other cool games like Disney Infinity as well.
Exactly, and that's how we feel as well.
Perfect. Well, it's a great system. Have you guys had a chance to play 2.0 yet?
no.
Okay, so I played on both current gen and next gen, and you're not going to be missing out on anything with the Wii U. So
good.
There's
Oh,
no
that's
concern
good.
there.
He was a little concerned about that, so.
Yeah, lots of people are really concerned with that, but it's a lot more optimized just kind of all around, and there's also kind of tricks that you can do to increase the amount of stuff you're going to have this time around. So you guys are going to be set with the Wii U. I wouldn't worry about it. Unless it crashes on you, and then you just return the Wii U version the next day and get the PS4 version.
That's right.
Talk to us next week.
Yeah. That's too funny. So tell me a little bit about 1.0. You really enjoyed the game. 1.0 unlike 2, had quite the Pixar focus. I mean, it was kind of the Pixar live action Disney game. So did that attract you guys initially to it, or what was it about Disney Infinity that really got you interested?
Yeah, and that's a good question because, like I mentioned, we're not really hardcore gamers by any means, but what it did immediately is, once we started seeing the characters that were coming out and people started kind of joking around with it, saying that it should be called Pixar Infinity, we're like, all right, well, let's pay attention to this. And then we started getting caught up in all the hype of it when it was getting shown and people were starting to have clips of it out there. And so we went and pre-ordered it right away, and we're like, we got to get this thing. And it just turned into one of those things where it was another thing that we could do together. It was another thing that we could just casually play. And I don't know, it just it's really fun. We loved the interactivity of it. Obviously, all the way from the toy box, which confused the heck out of us at first,
Right?
All the way through the play sets, and that. I mean, it's just it's been a blast, and certainly looking forward to that in 2.0.
Yeah. So you're pretty excited. Are you disappointed that we're not getting too much Pixar in 2.0?
Well, I hate to say it, but yeah,
Yes and no.
It's okay.
I mean, yeah, I understand why they're doing so many Marvel things because there's so many Pixar characters last time. But yeah, of course, for selfish reasons.
Right.
Yeah, I want more Pixar characters. Yeah, I wanted a freaking Brave playset. Yeah, I want a Wally and Eve playset. But
Yeah.
I get it. I get it.
You get it, right? But it surprises me. I'm surprised that you would want a Brave playset. That seems so out of character.
It's shocking. I know.
I know. We've only talked about it on our show. It's been mentioned in the chat room on this show many times. Steve has mentioned it. Steve has mentioned it on Julie's behalf
Multiple times, I think.
We do this show, the spoiler cast, where we go through a movie and we say how we would like to make it a characters and a playset and all this other stuff. Honestly, I kind of feel like I ripped it off from you and Brave, because that one episode you were like, hold on a second. Let me tell you why Brave should be in Disney Infinity. You went through characters, you went through plot lines, you went through designs and all this stuff, and I was like, she knows what she's talking about. She's got it nailed.
I know.
The playset piece was supposed to be the 3 bears, the crest of the freaking. I can't even talk about it. It was supposed to be that.
Take it easy. She gets worked up over these things.
It was supposed to be Merida and Queen Eleanor, which Queen Eleanor changes into Mum Bear, and they fight Mordu. Just saying, that's what should have been done.
Julie, are you happy with the way that the Merida character looks for 2.0?
Love it. Too. And the fact that they added the wisp, love.
Oh, yeah.
You okay?
I'm okay.
Getting a little worked up.
May I say that we should all raise our Pixar mugs and clink to that? Come on, Will.
Yes, we got to.
I stole yours from earlier.
Thank you for theming the mugs. I really appreciate that.
Well, I get such a hard time for my gallon water bottle from Steve. I thought I would just make it a little bit thematic tonight. So, but we're all just on. Sorry, go ahead.
That you refill that cup 19 times during the show.
You don't see it, but I'm over here. I'm refilling this mug with this one.
I knew it.
We can hear it. Glug, 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 glug.
Oh, that's too funny.
One thing's for sure on the show is Will is always hydrated.
It's true. And then I always run out the door as soon as it's over.
Yeah, as soon as it's over, you're like, the post show is going to be 2 minutes because I have to go.
Yeah. Oh, anyway. Once again, my face is red, Steve. I don't know how you do that to me, but it's a gift. All right, so I got to ask, I think we just figured out what Julie's most exciting character for 2.0 is. What were some of your favorite characters from the first game? And I'm also curious what your favorite playset was from the first game.
Oh, Monsters University. Mike Wazowski is my favorite.
We brought characters for show and tell.
Yeah.
That's
and
awesome.
the story of this is you got it when?
I got it when I was at the Monsters University press event back in June last year. Also because Monsters University is one of the top 3 of my Pixar films that I love. I rate them. Kind of, sort of. I go back and forth, but I love Monsters University. So Mike Wazowski and that whole playset, I just love.
Yeah. Do you think they did a good job kind of I mean, it's not supposed to be retelling, but really bringing you into that world?
I think they did. I wish it could have been expanded a little more. Mm-hmm. I felt like it was, I don't know, just kind of a little closed off. We've talked about it before.
Yeah, it was cool because it showed you some of the campus stuff, and then it showed you the sewer area. Mm-hmm. But the one thing that we really wanted more of for sure was, well, first off, everybody talked about it. Getting around the playset was too slow. But the missions of it were a little more elementary than some of the other playsets out there too. But it was still fun. I mean, I loved scaring, creeping up on people and scaring them or whatever. Yeah. That part was fun.
I wish that would have been this playset would have been in 2.0, so you could go inside the library, and the librarian could have been part of one of them, because that was such
just popping out the door a little bit.
Yeah, that would have been cool. But the Monsters University was my favorite.
Such a good idea.
You say
I'm full of good ideas.
You are.
You say it's elementary. It took me 9 hours to realize how to slide my bike around the edge of those pools to catch all those bubbles. So, it wasn't elementary for me. The bike was really complicated.
No, I still have a hard time doing all that stuff. He's like, no, you do this. And I'm like, I'm learning.
Yeah, I had to call him. Because this is when I first got Disney Infinity, I started playing Monsters U, and I kept calling him, how do you ride the bike? I don't understand.
I kept jumping off.
I had to FaceTime hold it, and I'm like, I'm clicking it. I don't get it. It was such a pain in the butt. I couldn't even understand it. But I finally got it, and I'm better than him in it. So
That's
all right.
Good friend of the show, Pirate Steven, just wrote in. How about those bike challengers? There's a reason those weren't in the movie. The movie would have been 6 hours.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very true, Pirate.
Yeah. So okay, so that's her number one. Like, so we know her favorite playset and character.
Mm-hmm.
And then how about 2.0? I think we know your
Merida.
But do you have a playset that you're looking forward to at all? I know it's Marvel based, but do you have one?
I don't.
Okay,
No?
that's fair.
Have you seen well, the Avengers or Guardians or I guess Spider-Man doesn't really have an Infinity type movie, but have you seen the more recent Marvel stuff?
The only thing that we haven't seen is Guardians, and
Okay.
I know that that's a shame, and most people are like, "What?" But we haven't actually.
Well, we also have a 6-month-old, so it's been kind of hard to get out of the house.
Yes. By the way, congratulations on your new little one. Steve congratulated you guys early in the show, but you're both new parents as well as like owners and big internet people. I don't know where I was going with that.
Big internet people. I'll take it.
You're calling me fat.
Oh, my bad.
Kidding.
Okay, that's okay. You can call us. You can call it as internet famous.
That's what I was doing. That's all I was doing. Right.
Yeah, I'm good with that. I like the sound of it. So and then as far as were you going to ask what I was
yes,
thinking?
Please.
Okay, perfect. So my favorite character to play, strictly because I love the way he runs in the playset, is Woody. I absolutely love how he's just like, just all crazy and he jumps around like that. I don't like the fact that he just throws the Pixar ball, but I love when you can, get him Buzz Lightyear's, gun and all that kind of stuff. So he's my favorite in-game character to play with because he's a ton of fun. My favorite designed character is Syndrome, because I just love the way that he looked as a figure. And my favorite play set, I'm going to have to say Lone Ranger.
Really?
It's not Pixar, but it was my favorite one because I loved all the target practice and the shooting adventures and all those kind of things. I thought it melded really well with the style of Disney Infinity.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's that for that. And then for 2, I am extremely excited for Spider-Man playset, for the Spider-Man playset. I am pumped for that one. I love Spider-Man, so I'm all in for that. Definitely. Day one, I'm there.
Okay. So that's your playset.
That's my playset. And I'm excited for Nova specifically in that one because he can play in so many playsets. I love that fact. The other thing that I'm most excited for generally with Disney Infinity 2 is the fact that I can take a 1.0 character and now I have a skill tree with that character as well. So that is the thing that I'm most excited about. I think that that's really cool that they thought that through and still brought that over.
Mm-hmm.
Favorite Disney character in the game? I went all out with this. Favorite Disney character? Donald Duck, because he's my favorite Disney character, so he might as well be my favorite in-game character. I'm excited about that. I love that he's got a temper, somewhat like I do. And then as far as favorite Pixar character, it has to be Merida.
Yeah.
Copycat.
Well, I mean, the character design alone is just to die for. It's so cool.
Is she the only Pixar character in 2?
She is.
Yeah.
Which is why it has to be Merida.
The day they released that design, I took screenshots and I sent it to like 70 people. I've been a huge Merida fan. You can ask her. I don't know what it is about her besides the fact that her color scheme, the way that she moves, her attitude, and when you talk about video games, her weaponry is just stunning. And when they showed the picture of what her character looked like, I was taking screenshots and I sent to like 19 people. Most of them don't even play the game and didn't care. But I was ecstatic to play her. And when I got to play her at Comic-Con, her running around and the way that her hair moves. And see, you like Woody because he looks funny when he runs. And I don't like characters because of their weaponry. I like how the voices that they use in the game. Right. Sometimes they say really funny things. And I like how they look. She is stunning out there. It's fascinating to watch how they did it. And I don't know if it's because it's the new technology that they're using. This is where Will and Sarah are laughing at me because I don't know what I'm talking about. But whatever it is they did, she is unbelievable. But I will say that Tinkerbell steals the show because of how she flies around. She's great. But Merida is beautiful to watch run. She's amazing. So I agree with you.
Wow, I'm really sold now. Now I have to wait till November 4th.
Wait, why? Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay,
Yeah.
she's not a launch figure. That's right.
Right.
So since the two of you are such Brave fans, are you also excited that one of the Toy Box game disc is Brave themed?
Yes.
Absolutely. That's fantastic. I'm super excited that we're going to get more missions. That's another thing that's great about 2.0 is that, you know, we're getting much more involved content in the toy box as well for the individual characters. So I'm all about that as well, especially because we're going to get the whole what Julie wanted, the Highlands. We're going to get the ground and the sky texture, and it's just going to look super cool. And plus you can use the Angus disc to ride the Angus horse from Disney Infinity 1. So it's going to be fantastic.
So we expect a Julie and TJ version of a Brave playset with 2.0. I want to see you guys build that toy box and share it with the world so you can see. Awesome.
Yeah.
Done.
It's in the spiral notebook. She has it down like it's style. It's done. She's had this done for a year.
Those are the design documents.
Yes. They're locked away in our closet. You can't see it.
So do you want I'm going to switch gears a little bit, but do you want a small Spider-Man piece of trivia that I happened to see on TV this weekend?
Yeah, absolutely. We love
Okay,
trivia.
so we're talking about the playset, and this isn't necessarily about the playset, but since I brought it up as my favorite, do you know why Stan Lee put a hyphen in between Spider and Man?
No idea.
I
Chat room, if you know it, let us know. But no, that's a great one.
I'll even give it a second so that way the chat room can catch up and see who's going to be smart first.
let it marinate.
Let it marinate.
Marinade.
Yeah, so that's going to be the question of the night then.
I love it. Okay, let's save that. Don't let me forget. At the end of the show, you will tell us the answer, and then, well, no, because then people will search it on the internet. That's no fun.
Give
Yes,
Tyler
just say-
Steve a minute to Google it and then pretend like he knows the answer the whole time. That's cool.
That's true. All right. Why don't enlighten us? Why is there a hyphen between Spider and Man?
Okay, so the only difference is because when Stan Lee was creating it, he didn't want it to look like Superman if somebody just saw it really quickly as a title.
What? Bad Gamer official Lim on the show just posted Superman Too Close? ?
That's
So-
exactly what it is. Yep.
Ooh.
That is awesome. And Batman 2, I guess, sort of. Although
Batman doesn't have a hyphen.
that's good. No. But I mean, for Superman. But I guess it's the whole S-Man thing that's probably doing it.
Well, I think it was SUPER SPIDER. It's pretty close as far as number of letters
Wow,
too.
cool.
That's really cool. Where'd you see that?
It was on the show The Chase on Game Show Network.
Awesome.
Isn't that what it's
Oh,
called?
geez, you and your game show network.
I love game
old
shows.
man over here.
I love game shows.
Show network.
I sit around, I watch game shows, and I dunk graham crackers in milk and eat them. It's the best.
Nilla
That
wafers.
is
Nilla
awesome.
wafers and then eating
Oh,
your.
goodness. We've been together too long.
That's
I swear,
hilarious.
you guys know so many famous people. I swear to God, I thought the next thing you were going to say is, oh, well, when I took a tour with Stan Lee of
Yeah.
the factory and the animation and all this other stuff.
Well, I did do that too. That's not how I found it out, though. No, I'm kidding.
Well, Julie was touring with the Monsters University traveling set with the band and all that stuff last year. You were meeting Stan Lee and figured, okay, I got it.
I was
Actually,
thinking,
I was stuck at home while she was doing all the fun
I'm
stuff.
aware of that because I felt your pain. Because every day she would talk about it a little more. I could hear it in your voice. It was just torturous. You were like,
Yeah.
look at her face right now. Look at her. She's just like, yeah,
Awesome.
I saw the band. It was fun.
oh, well, I think I got to ask Sarah and Steve because I don't know if we ever have. I've talked to Steve about it a little bit, but his seems to change daily with each new figure announcement. What two characters are you two most excited about with 2.0? Sarah.
Rocket and Groot, of course, because I don't know, they're just so cool. And the way that Rocket stands on his shoulders, that's the only way I'd play. I don't even have to have a second player. I'm just gonna leave it and have Rocket right on my shoulders.
She's gonna turn on the second controller,
And just
jump
leave
on
it.
him, and then just play the rest of the game like that.
Awesome.
I'm so alone right now. What was the other one? I know no
like
one.
Stitch?
Yeah, no one really likes Stitch, but I think he's so cute. And then his like destructive gun ray thing, like his power up, where you shoot someone and it grabs them in a bubble and it pulls them up and then they explode, is just so cool. And I thought that was a really cool feature. And he's cute the way he runs on 4 little legs and then he talks like a dog and he scratches himself. It's just cool. So yeah, those
Okay.
would probably be my two. I like Tinkerbell because she kind of like skips and hops around like this, and it's really adorable. And like little dust comes out when she hops. Yeah, so those are pretty cool. But yeah,
Awesome.
I'm gonna guess his. Brave
Yeah.
and
Merida.
yeah, Merida. Yeah, and Tinkerbell.
That would be
Right? Close.
That's good. That's good. And those are the two probably least threatening characters to play as, right, Steve? So,
It's his personality.
it is. I was just thinking it would make the game easier to play, but you know what?
So how about from a Marvel standpoint, Steve?
Okay, now you guys haven't seen the film, so you don't really get it. And when we went and played the game, we didn't really get it either because had we seen it? We hadn't seen it yet because it came out a week later. The Rocket and Groot thing is nothing short of amazing. And when you see the movie, we've seen it. How many times have we seen it in theaters? 4 or 5 times. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. Rocket and Groot are amazing. Their in-game abilities are mostly Groot's because when he does this ground smash,
And like a tree
pops out
thing
way in the
pops
front
out.
and like beats people further, and that's cool to see on the screen. It's amazing. But Brave, when I saw Merida originally, I was smitten. She's on the back of my shirt. I was like, this is my favorite character. I'm already set. But when they had Tinkerbell in that thing, and that is not someone I thought I would like, her motion, like you were talking about with Woody, is amazing. Her details, her ability to fly, her weaponry, her just all in all, and it sounds so weird, but her cuteness yet vicious ability to kill bad guys is stunning. So I cannot wait. That'll be my go-to player. So, but when you go to Marvel, Groot is going to be my number one. I really, and I'm not trying to sound mean, I don't care at all about the Spider-Man set. I've never seen that animated series. I know nothing about it. All I know is they're $14 and I pre-ordered all of them. And I'll figure it out when they get here. I've never touched a single one of them. I've never seen the show. I know all the Avengers and I can give or take. I love Captain America, but I don't really care about that series so much. For me, it's going to be day one, unboxing Guardians, and that's what we're doing. And then after that, we'll play around with the other ones. That's my thing, and I'm very excited about that.
Yeah, but web swinging, you got
Yes.
to know web swinging, and that alone, it's got to be fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I'm most excited about it. The fact that you can swing through the city. You not only get Spider-Man that can do that, but you get Venom, which you got at that Toy Box event there, Will, which everybody was super jealous
Lucky.
of. And the fact that it's, you can power him up like John says and Johnny V and get him to be, as strong as Hulk. I mean, that's awesome.
Yep. And without that, Steve, without Spider-Man, we wouldn't have a cool Venom like that. But you know what? That's cool. To each their own, right? If you don't have, that's what's so great about Infinity is that there's aspects of it that kind of pull at the heartstrings of people, and those tend to be the favorites. Sarah, let's see here. Chapo14 was saying thank you. They love Stitch and Tinkerbell too, so they're their favorite. And so it's just those characters that really mean something to you. And as more or less Disney people, I mean, I think there's varying degrees in the room at least of Marvel fandom, but it's that Disney piece that really kind of attracted us to this. And it's great that we're getting those other Disney characters that like Merida was highly requested, and Stitch also extremely requested. So supposedly the Disney characters, outside of Donald, I'm guessing Donald isn't part of this, but supposedly the Disney characters that they're releasing are the most requested characters. So no love for Aladdin, huh?
Which is why I keep reading the controversy between everybody and wanting more Disney in this series, and I see their argument. I can see Infinity's point because after playing it, you really see it, and Sarah keeps on using this term, it's a game. It's no longer a smaller sort of playset. It's a full-on game, and you can only really pull that off with something like a Marvel or something like that. It's very difficult to do. We're used to 1.0 where you could make a Brave playset and you could pull it off like Julie has done in her descriptions 80 million times perfectly. You could do it, but this is so much bigger, and I see what they're doing, but man, I really wish there was a little more other stuff. And I'm afraid that we're not going to get that next year either. But, you know.
Well, see, in 2.0, we could have gone in the witch's castle or the witch's cottage. We could have gone where Mordu lives inside that little castle. There's so much we could have done in 2.0.
Wake me up when she's done.
You've heard this song before?
No, I feel just as passionately. She just can't control it. It comes out.
That's awesome.
Rave is like the one thing that I just thought was going to happen and it didn't.
Yeah, but you know, it's interesting that you do bring up specifically about it moving to Marvel, though, because I thought about that too, and I guess I should say moving to Marvel centric.
Mm-hmm.
But if it started out as Marvel, we wouldn't have bought it.
Right.
And now I'm all about it, though. Now I'm still like, okay, I got to get it. And like Steve said, I don't care. I still pre-ordered Spider-Man, even though, you know, I'm not 100% about it. But it's because of that trust that they built with us in 1.0 that we're like, okay, they're going to do it right. So let's just go ahead and get these for 2.0 as well.
Which is a brilliant marketing move. They got everybody in, and as Will has talked about many times, what happened this last year is the next-gen systems came out, and they're so much more powerful, and you can do so much more on them. You can really build a more powerful game, and you guys will all see, like we've been yammering about since Comic-Con, is that Guardians playset is a full-on game. You buy PlayStation 4 games now, or PS3 games now, that are just as sophisticated in one disc game. This is multiple games. It's awesome. So it makes sense that what they did, and I totally get it. And like you said, now we're sucked in. I don't know anything about Spider-Man, but the whole set is pre-ordered. I'm ready to get in. It's not going to be the one I'm most looking forward to, but I'm in. I would love to see something that's not Marvel as a playset, like a lot of people have said, but I'm completely content with how we're doing it. I'm just excited that we're getting more stuff, and I'm very excited about it. So I'm not trying to be negative at all. It's just that one little aspect I would like to see, but you know, there's always room for the next one, and in the future, I have no doubt in my mind that they're going to be selling out off of shelves. It's going to be impossible to find those stupid blind packs the first week like it was last year. So we'll get more stuff later, but I'm very excited. I hope that they sort of keep integrating the other ones more.
Well, it's so interesting, right? Because the first go around, it's called Disney Infinity for a reason. And so when they came out with the first version, which was an unproven product, they had to reach into their bag of tricks, and some of their most popular properties, not including Lone Ranger, but you know, anything Pixar is highly beloved, and the Pirate series is really well loved as well. And so that's them kind of like, okay, this is new, we have to kind of prove ourselves, and so we're gonna give people stuff that is very recognizable and hopefully enticing. And they kind of did that, and now I think they're like, okay, so we grabbed all these Disney fans, which was great. It made the original successful, and so now they're trying to bring in a new subset of fans, and hopefully that will include the Disney fans with all of the new Disney figures and those Disney game discs and stuff like that, but then also including new people that will hopefully become fans, which hopefully, I kind of hope it's big picture. I mean, we kind of expect Star Wars next time around, but if 2.0 does really well and all of the Disney figures are selling like crazy, which we hope and probably will be, then maybe we'll get some Disney playset. Maybe you will get your Brave playset next year, Julie, if everything goes right.
I'm going to start learning code and make my own.
Julie, say they came out with a Brave playset and you already have the Merida figure, so she's not going to be coming with the thing, and you get 2 more characters that come with the playset. Who are your other 2 that you bring out?
Mum Bear and Fergus.
There we go.
Is that the 2 brothers? Forgive me. Oh.
No, Fergus is the dad, and Mum Bear, Queen Eleanor, that's the mom.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Maybe I would go with one of the dads, like Dingwall. Just because he's feisty. He's little and feisty. I don't know.
Yeah, our favorite.
Because I feel like Mom and Dad, that would be too predictable. Maybe I would do the 3 brother bears, but as one character.
Like they all ran in a cluster of 3.
They were all stacked on each other. Like I would do maybe the mom and them.
I like it. They could even be a team-up disc, too.
Ooh, I like that even more.
I forgot about making discs.
And next week on the Place of Potential Spoiler Cast, Steven and Sarah rip off all Julie's ideas and follow up next week's Brave.
That's why you asked the question.
Put down everything you just said, and we got it on the side now.
Right.
But Pirate Steve said Will has no idea what Julie is talking about, and I must admit I've only seen Brave one time, and so forgive me.
That's
you
okay.
know what Will is thinking right now? Is he's thinking, I don't watch Phineas and Ferb.
So sorry, hopefully we're not boring people with Brave talk in the forum, because we are realistic and understand that Brave was not one of the most popular that was out there, but we still love it.
Well, there's a reason Merida came out as a figure, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There you go. I'll take that.
So I'm guessing that the group then is not too excited about the last two Marvel figures that were announced. So did everyone see Yondu and Falcon announced this week?
Right? Yes.
What's everyone's thoughts on that?
Well, go ahead, Steve. Sorry.
Oh no, go. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say I was actually kind of confused at first, and I had to kind of reread and dig in a little bit, because at first I'm like, well, he already has the team. Yondu has the team up disc.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm looking at it, I'm like, is this going to be a character in the game, or is this just they're advertising more of the team up stuff? And then I see that it just says 2015 for a release date. So I was kind of confused initially. But I guess they seem so kind of sub characters to me. They didn't really get me as excited as some of the other ones that came out. They felt like they were released as an afterthought.
Right. So Yondu, Steve, have you seen these pictures yet?
Yeah. Oh
okay.
yeah, definitely.
So Steve and Sarah, you two are Guardians fans. So are you excited about Yondu?
I think Yondu's really cool looking. It looks just like the guy in the movie.
Yeah.
But what did we say about, what was it, Falcon? Right? We thought he's really cool, but his colors are kind of off. I mean, I know it's off of, what is it, the comic right?
Books one.
But it just, I don't know, it looks like it doesn't fit in as much, because most of the other Marvel characters are based off of the movies, right? Aren't they?
Oh, they're kind of a mix. They do the Infinity sort of hybrid thing, and you can kind of tell, but with that one character, he's so completely different than the films. I'm unfamiliar. I'm unfamiliar with him in the comic books versus him in the film that we just saw. So when I saw it, I was very confused. I know the character, but the color scheme was different to me, because I'm used to him being silver and gray and, kind of a tough guy and helping out Captain America. So I'm give or take with him, but then again, that's my knowledge of the Marvel world in general, is honestly, and I hate to sound like such an idiot, it's what the movies that we've seen. I've never read a comic book in my life besides Scott Pilgrim, and this is the only one that I've actually, I don't know. So I was expecting, when I got the text that he was coming out, I was expecting it to look more like the film. So that's one thing. Yondu, though, I'm very excited for, because you guys haven't seen the film. He has arguably the coolest weapon I've ever seen. And if you can utilize his weapon like you do in the film, bring it on. I'm telling you.
That's it. Yep.
That's right there.
If you get to pinpoint characters that his arrow gets to go through, sign me up. That's going to be the character for killing villains. I mean, that's the coolest thing ever. And I love the fact that they made him look more like, what's his name? What do you know the actor's name?
No,
from the movie, from The Walking Dead, that guy. They made him look more like the actual actor instead of the comic book version. And I saw the progression art, and I like what they did with it. That I'm excited for.
Yeah, but I do kind of agree. I don't disagree with you, Steve, at all. I think you're making great points. It's that version is from the cartoon, and like you, I was kind of confused until I started watching the cartoon. I personally would have preferred the kind of gray and like metal line suit that he has in the Winter Soldier. Spoiler alert. And
it's on the trailer. Don't worry.
But yeah, but I do agree with you, TJ, that for being the last two Marvel characters, these are just odd choices. And Yondu kind of having a team up disc, so you're going to be able to play as Yondu, and we also have seen Falcon's wings as a power disc as well. So there's just some disconnect there that you're just like, these are odd choices out of the Marvel library that they could have picked and choose from. Why did they choose these two characters? And my only thought is that they work very well with a few of the different playsets. Yondu is giving that more Guardians love, and then Falcon could be a crossover character for both Spider-Man and the Avengers, but I don't know if that's true. I don't know.
Well, let me say real quick, one of the things that I was really upset with last year was that Disney didn't utilize Frozen in the right way. Instead, they banked on Lone Ranger, and I think completely mismatched the two. We'll get into that some other time, maybe. But I'll tell you, I think that 50% of what you just said is right, and I think that Falcon is a bizarre character, being that you already said that, and he's got the wings and all that other stuff, and he's not that recognizable. Yondu, on the other hand, though, we just saw this last weekend of Marvel. Guardians is the first movie to break, 300 billion this year. It is hugely popular, hugely famous, and if they're going to add another, what you would call obscure character, them adding arguably the next most important character in that film makes all the sense in the world to me, because you guys are the first two people that I've heard that haven't really seen the movie. Everybody else has. When I showed it to Lila, she was ecstatic because she knows who he is and she knows his weapon, and all her friends at school do, and everybody else. So that, I feel like, is them capitalizing on the massive success, and they're doing it at the right time. If you're going to bring in another character, someone from Guardians is good. And if you've seen Guardians, there is no other character that you could bring in to that realm that isn't already in the game. So at this point, if you are a fan of the film, and most people are, you're pretty much complete. This is sort of the last year's mix match of Frozen. You're getting the playset, you're getting the characters, and now you're getting all the villains involved as well. I think it's sort of the perfect mesh of what the people want, and you can see that by every single weekend. It's number 2 or number 3 in the box office. It's smashing records. It's doing great, and it makes sense. The other one I don't really get because I don't understand that world. I don't know the cartoon or the comic, but I know that the Yondu thing to me makes all the sense in the world. If you're going to add another character, he's the right guy to do it.
Cool.
Look at the passion streaming off of Steve. I thought we got
just love that movie, man.
We got Brave.
Groot. Oh, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen.
We got Brave level passion going on over here.
That's true.
So, but I hear you and I agree, Steve. But I have to say, because of the success of the film, is this one of the characters that they said we got to put this character out there now? But yet they already had, because to me it makes it sound like, well, this is huge. We've got to throw another character in there, because he already had the team up disc.
Oh, like it was a late edition.
Yeah.
Well, that's a really good point. So
I think it's because of his weapon too. Like, his weapon is so unique, and it's a big thing that a lot of people would want to use. They would really put that in there.
His weapon is different than anything I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's so awesome, and I think they really wanted to put that in game form.
I'm pointing out, in my mind's eye, it doesn't work when I'm pointing out to a camera, but his arrow goes where he wants it to and kills a whole army of people at once.
It does make a really cool game.
Stop making fun of me, TJ. So now, okay, hold on a second. So, in theory, what you're saying is the people at Avalanche and Infinity have a lineup of people sort of ready to go, and then they kind of pick and choose. We need 2 more, and let's choose 2 more, put them into mode, and start printing them. Is that kind of what you're thinking? Is that how it goes?
No, I was just saying more along the lines of...
I think that's kind of what you were saying. Like, there was 2 others maybe that were on the chopping block. Those got chopped, and they're like, Guardians is a hit right now. Push those forward, even though they've already created those 2 discs. Those 2 guys weren't originally going to be created, but they're like, hey, push it, let's go.
Oh, well, I wasn't saying that fully, but I like that way better. So thank you, Steve and Julie.
Which makes sense as well, because the second most popular movie of the entire year so far is Captain America. And he's in that one, although it's a different variation of the character. At least people are vastly aware of who these characters are. They've seen the movies. They probably by now own the Blu-rays, and they're ready to go. So to me, it makes sense. I think that they already should have had an Olaf character, and I think that they seriously missed out by not doing that last year, just because of the amount of people. I see you, Will, but hold on a second.
Okay.
I see you doing the thing. They should have had a Frozen playset, and if so, Olaf would have made a great late-in-the-game edition character during that peak time. And, of course, you could throw him in later, but I think that they're sort of capitalizing on that maximum ability, and I know that these characters don't take a month to build. I understand that. They take a long time. Very long. I think that the people at Infinity and Disney in general saw that Guardians was going to be a huge hit. They saw the brilliance in it, and they said, this is going to be something big. This is a good starting block. And then they capitalized on it. And I know that he's a very minor character when you look at the scope of it, because you've got the main 5 and 6. I'm sorry, because you've got what's-his-name as a villain. But I really think that he's a good one. And I think that they maximized on what I believe they sort of missed out on last year. Bam.
Hey, great point. You just dropped the mic. There is different opinions in the chat that are interesting. Matt88 is saying that they could not make a figure that quick. And then Romulus says, JV mentioned in a tweet about Yondu coming up during talks with Marvel about expanding the roster. So he wasn't planned from the beginning. I don't quite understand that, but it kind of seems like the chat room is split on whether or not Yondu was an originally planned figure, or if kind of what you're saying, Steve, that they brought him in after the masses. They learned from their mistakes from Frozen, and they brought him in after the fact.
Well, that would be my my own argument to my own argument would be the amount of time that it takes to build the characters would kill off what I was thinking. Right.
Physically build it, absolutely. And I'm not saying that they chose it last month or last week. I'm saying they chose it earlier in the year. But as everybody saw, that trailer with Ooga Chaka, Ooga, that first one, it took the internet by storm. And all I read about for 6 months was how people were excited about Guardians. So I think that you bring it back to February, you have enough time to build a character. You have enough time to design a character, build him in physical form, and then send him to the shippers. I guarantee you, because 2.0 hadn't even been announced by then.
Yep.
And by that point, they had to get the core characters down and everything like that. He was just announced this week. That's an extra 3 months of time. I think you have enough time to see if it's a success and start it early summer to put it in production.
And it could have always been like okay, wait and see. Like, we have this idea, and we will see how far we want to progress it.
And TJ, what was the date you said, 2015? You're still talking 5 months away from the date that it could actually be made. All you really have to do is get a small team of people together that are really good at designing gameplay and put them into play. And then you could show them as a teaser and a picture. They don't have to start making them right now. It works. Well, you
look at this. He's got some anger in there, too.
Because they missed out. I want Olaf in this game right now.
It's not going to happen.
It's not. I know.
Let it go. Let it go, Brave.
Good night.
And with that, we can end the show.
Oh, wait.
Oh! I love how he doesn't really drop it. He carefully places it back to where it goes.
Yeah.
The chat wanted you to stand up and pick up your drop mic, Steve.
I'm not standing up. Stop people. I'm wearing pants.
That's true.
What kind of pants?
Man pants.
Hey, now, also, Will, I don't want to derail everything here, too, but you didn't get a chance to talk about what your favorite character was from 1, as well as what you're most anticipating from 2, and I apologize for just moving on.
No, not at all. It's such a hard question. So 1 is easy for me. It's got to be my $200 D23 Mickey I bought on eBay.
I thought you said you were going to raise the price every episode.
I did. Last time it was $175. Last time it was $175, Steve. This time it was $200. So,
okay.
But at least you can check it off on your website when you put in your collection. You can check it off and say you have it.
That's true. Rent's overrated. I'll just say that. Now, in all seriousness, Skellington has to be my favorite. I just love the movie. So that's 1. Back. We are back. It's time to
be our guest.
The show. Sorry, folks. You know what? It happens. We can only run a half-professional ship around here. Just ask Steve C and his half-dressed self.
Well, okay, so we did have a concern that we wanted to bring up with you, Will.
Oh no.
This is a big problem, and if you need help, you have a community of people that can assist. You did mention that rent was overrated when you bought your Sorcerer Mickey. So does that also imply that maybe you're having a little trouble with your internet bill?
No, my neighbors pay their internet bill. All right?
Oh, your neighbors pay it. So
I mean, I pay.
You're using your neighbor's Wi-Fi, aren't you?
I
They
am.
must have just changed their password.
Oh my god.
yeah, he had to call him up. What is it again?
Password 123.
Yes.
Yeah. Logitech login password 123. Got it.
Yeah.
Oh, good time.
How about a Spaceballs reference? What's the password, Steve? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nobody knows Spaceballs here. Come on.
I do.
I like the movie. I don't remember your joke. Oh no.
Oh no, he talks about the password, and he's like, they're spending like half the movie trying to figure out this password to get this, and the password's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and he's like, what kind of idiot uses 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? So, anyways,
I feel bad now. I didn't get your Spaceballs reference because I actually like that movie.
that's
Call
okay.
yourself a movie guy.
It's okay. You can look up, Steve. In fact, you know what? Just go ahead and stand up, and I'll forgive you.
Do you know what Will's thinking right now? He was thinking, hey, I was going to do a movie podcast with Steve, but he didn't get that reference, so now he's fired.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Thank you for doing that, TJ. Now I don't have to invite him.
No problem.
Nonsense.
See, now you have to tell us what your favorite character for 2.0 is.
Yeah, don't
That's
dodge
where
it
we
anymore.
were.
I wasn't. So
dodging it.
did you hear? Did you just hear Jack Skellington? Is that all you heard?
Yes.
Yeah. It was like Jack
Oh.
Skellington.
Oh, I was telling you how much that I agree with you about Woody as well. So my favorite thing about the characters is really how not true to life they are, but how much they evoke the essence of the character. And
Right.
although Buzz is my favorite character in the movies, Toy Story movies, I didn't like his figure nearly as much as I'd hoped, especially when I compared him to Woody and Jesse for that matter.
Right.
So 2.0 most excited figure, I don't know. I'm a big Iron Man fan. I'm a big Cap fan. Rocket and Groot, they're really high on the list, but I guess if I would have to, growing up as a kid, I always loved Venom. So I'll just that will be my default for now, and I'm sure that will change after I get into the game. But it's kind of like the best of all worlds. He's the anti-hero, but then he's also has a web swinging ability. So
Yep. It's going to be one of my faves. I know that.
I kind of think, even though it's different than 1.0, but I think you know how much fun Syndrome was playing as Syndrome, fighting Syndrome.
Yes, where he would say jokes to himself.
Yes.
Be like, "Oh, you're looking good." Yeah.
That's how I finished the game.
Yeah. well, Venom isn't the bad guy, but his kind of his symbiotes are. So that will be kind of fun fighting alien symbiote dudes as Venom. So that'll be cool. So that's it. I gotta say though, Guardians is probably my most exciting, the place that I'm most excited about, because watching the trailer, even I looked at it from a game perspective, and the trailer, I've said this a couple times, but it looks like such a fun just game in general. So I'll be curious after you guys see the movie what your expectations and excitement level for that playset will be, because I think having that context, especially with such a out there property, at least if you just read the synopsis, you're like, really, a talking rodent and a green wrestler?
What's a raccoon?
The
line from the movie, Will.
Gotcha.
I thought he was a gopher.
Yeah, that would have been awesome. A deadly gopher.
Gary the gopher.
Yeah. Oh, I want to. That's gonna be your alternate dimension Guardians.
Yeah.
Toy box that you make.
It'll be the Bizarro world.
Will, I have a real quick question, and this is something on a very personal level, and I'm just curious if you ever think, because there's a mixture of outside Disney companies involved. Now, Marvel is owned by Disney, so it's easy to do them. And honestly, we're talking next year, it's just Star Wars. You can do it.
Right.
The thing I'm going to ask you is going to be very complicated as far as business and companies go. Do you think we're ever going to get a Roger or Jessica or any of those characters from Roger Rabbit? Because you're talking Touchstone, you're talking sort of a mixture of companies. Roger Rabbit's one of my favorite films of all time. And do you ever think that we could ever do that? Or is that going to be impossible because of sort of the branding name?
Well, I think I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't think it would be worth their trouble. I hate to say it.
Think so?
Yeah. TJ, Julie, do you guys have thoughts on this?
unless they re-released it, I think, for the generation now to see it again. We're in our mid-30s, so of course we grew up with Roger Rabbit, but I think kids now, if you're in high school, who's Roger Rabbit?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
I think
that's
beyond
part of
that,
it.
yeah, beyond that, I have to agree with what Will said too. Is that it's not worth the trouble. They've got enough characters and enough depth to get into. I would love to see it too, but then how are you going to integrate? Because it's always Roger Rabbit is specifically in the world of live action and animation. So how are they going to integrate that
Good
too?
point.
Good
You know, a couple of episodes ago when I was on, which puts it back into 6 months in Disney Infinity.TV world, someone asked if they were ever going to hit the bottom of the barrel with characters. Are you ever going to run out? And I wanted to bring it up then, but I think it was Jason was talking over me the whole time and I didn't have a chance. Roger and Jessica are my two favorite characters in any film of all time, bar none. And I just wondered if they're technically owned by Disney, do you think we'll ever be able to see that? And I seriously doubt it. But, I mean, I think that a Roger character would be great. But I was just curious on a business aspect if you think it would make sense. But that makes sense, too, that it's probably not going to happen until Disney Infinity 19.0 when you're going through obscure Rescue Rangers characters. And,
I would totally buy a Rescue Ranger.
I know.
Here we go.
There we go. Do you have a play-set in line for them, too?
Oh, yeah, Gadget. Oh, gosh.
You said Gadget. Of course you know.
Okay,
Zipper.
so yeah, oh yeah, Zipper. Oh, we always do. We do as a joke to each other. We go cheese. Monterey Jack. He was our. Oh, I loved him. Monday. Come on, Money. So
Like our secret shame.
and yeah, we know you play plenty of DuckTales, so we have the DuckTales love as well. So yeah, where's the theme?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I'm not saying it. Where's the theme, Steve Krellen?
He's got to put in his 4-digit passcode on his iPhone first.
You have to put it in. You're dumb if you don't have a 4-digit passcode. Don't give me.
Well, if you had a 5, if you had at
Everybody
least
else, hold on a second. To argue your point, everyone and their dogs is screaming for Darkwing Duck, and unless you're our age, no one knows what Darkwing Duck is.
Hey, actually, this is not true. So Jazz820 spoke up, says, I'm 17 and know who Roger Rabbit is. So, you know what? You need to broaden your horizons a little bit there, Steve. You know, not just because you're old doesn't mean that young kids aren't
I appreciate the fact that you're giving that blame to Steve there because Julie's the one.
I said it, yeah.
Why is it that I'm the easy one to blame? He's agreeing with me, yet he still throws me under the bus.
I was just generalizing. Generalizing.
Knee-jerk reaction. Steve, you're sitting on something, I can tell.
I'm subject to this.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and just wait for you, Steve, while you pull up DuckTales.
I'm sorry, there's an ad. Leave me alone.
Only if you can sing it. Oh.
Duckburg. It's a Duckburg. Come on, you guys watch this.
No, it's great.
Well, sing it.
DuckTales.
Woo!
It's not Inside Infinity without DuckTales, let's be honest.
It's not.
Right.
Did you guys know that the Money Bin in 2.0 is interactive this time? Like, you're actually going to be able to swim?
Yep.
Yes, and I thought that was so awesome. I watched that when I was like those 2 days for the Toy Box Summit. By the way, super jealous that you were there, Will, and your guys' coverage was by far the best.
Well, thank you.
But yeah, that was so great to hear them where you could swim through the coins and they kind of flung out like that. Have you played in that?
Unfortunately, no. Someone told me about it after the fact. I'm like, oh, why did I miss that? I just assumed that they weren't going to upgrade some of the older stuff, and so I didn't even look at it. But I also really didn't get to play the game that much when I was there. So.
Oh well, yeah, we understand. Yeah, you were covering the event, so that makes sense. Steve, did you touch that one at all, or
No,
Steve or Sarah?
I didn't even know that was a thing. That's really cool.
Well,
No, we only played like Guardians.
Got Guardians, and then we got to do the toy box with the new characters. Johnny V was ecstatic to show us Maleficent and her wings, so
That's awesome.
he let us play on that. So
He did.
Someone's bringing up bonkers in the chat room. Oh man, that brings back memories.
Bonkers. Great bonkers
Julie
and
light
Crystal
up.
Pepsi.
Oh.
We talk about it all the time. Oh,
Yes.
freaking bonkers.
All you have to do is say Ecto Cooler right after that.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I see Ecto Cooler. Yeah.
Yes.
I
Oh,
think
the 80s.
we should
Early
just we should just have a random podcast that is not Infinity related, where we just throw out random like names from either old school Disney stuff or Pixar stuff, and then just let Julie take it over from there, and then the rest of us just sits back.
Yeah, just watch her keep getting excited for everything.
All 3 of the viewers would love the show.
Hey, there's 5 of us.
Yeah.
That is true.
So yeah, bonkers though. We talk about that commercial all the time. We've got like the old lady with the helmet on, and the fruit comes and smacks her in the head, and she comes up. She's all like, "Ah."
Oh my god, I love it.
Early 90s podcast show is what's being requested now.
Fantastic.
Tailspin, throw some Tailspin in there.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
we have to do Tailspin.
Oh, my favorite part that I always wanted to do at the intro of that show was chuck the pineapple and have it chop in the the propeller.
Doop, doop, doop.
Yeah, with those sound effects.
Oh,
Yes.
awesome.
So should we talk anything about Disney Infinity?
Let's talk one more thing that I'm just gonna throw out there. 2 more things, and we're not even really going to go over it. But some info was released about the digital version of Infinity, kind of last week, kind of today. I finally released a video on our YouTube channel that we've been sitting on until this information came out. It was an interview with John Blackburn and John Vignacchi, where they talked about this, some other kind of fun things that you guys might be interested in. There's he didn't say it's going to be a Magic Band unlock, but there is going to be an unlock similar to the Magic Band in 2.0, and there's also going to be an ultimate unlock, kind of like the lightsaber from 1.0. So
Fantastic.
but this is a great thing, you know, for folks that you, for example, you've already upgraded to the Wii U, and it sounds like you're kind of set on buying the starter pack, at least, and some of the others. But for those that maybe someone's upgrading from a Wii U to a PS4 or from a PS3 to a PS4 and they don't want to buy everything new, in November they're going to have this digital starter pack that allows you to play the toy box and all of your figures and the base from 1.0 in there as well.
We saw the shorts. I'm sorry, we saw the shorts.
You didn't see anything.
Wait a minute, did you take the shorts off?
I did not. Look at this, Will.
Look at you. So you don't need to do the digital upgrade because you have a, a PS4 you throw around.
I spent 6 years allowance on upgrading so I could play this game.
That's funny. But yeah, so that's some cool new news. And then the other thing, because I know he's actually in the chat room now. He's a great member of the community. He was hired from the community. Have you guys heard the name Papa Echo?
Absolutely, yeah. Of course. We watched the Toy Box Summit.
Yeah, only every 70 seconds that you're friends with Steve.
That's true. Well, so he's kind of becoming like a celebrity, and he's probably going to hate me for saying this, but the New York Times released an article, and they mention his name a lot, and they talk about him. And I wouldn't necessarily call it a full-featured interview, but it does quote him a couple times, and it talks about his involvement with 2.0 as well as the other community members. And so check the show notes to read this. It's a really short article, but it's a great article nonetheless. And oops, sorry, you're still seeing my screen, so you're gonna see a little bit of Inception action going on. So there we go. So I'm gonna post that link in the chat.
Yeah, my favorite part of that interview was what did they call them? Joe Regulars or something like that?
Yeah, Joe Nobodies. And
Joe Nobodies. I was like, wow. And I like how at the end they're like, yeah. And so he references it, and at the end the author ties it back in and is like, and for all the rest of the Joe Nobodies out there.
Yeah. Exactly. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it even mentioned Mrs. Echo, his wife, which was really cool. It's a really cool story, so definitely check that out. And I wanted to go
okay, so Julie didn't read that article, but I want to bring it up because they talk about the fact that they got married, they had to postpone their honeymoon so that way he could interview for the position at Disney Infinity. So let me just ask Julie live on air here. Would you have let me delay our honeymoon to have an interview with Disney Infinity?
Yeah.
Really?
Honeymoon,
Oh, I thought for sure.
Oh.
When I'm reading that, I'm like, oh, no. There's no way. Because we went to Disney, and there's no way she would be, like, stopping that. I figured for sure you'd be like, no, are you nuts?
I just would have added a couple days, but sure.
She would have got Vignacchi and Blackburn on the phone and been like, you listen up right now. You make me a Brave playset, and...
DJ, the question should be directed at you. Are you going to delay your wedding and honeymoon so that she could go to the Monsters University Summit and have more fun than you've ever had in your entire life?
100% I would.
There we go. That's the perfect answer.
Because it furthers our website.
Yeah.
That, and we've been married 9 years and together 15.
I'm just saying. Hypothetical.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I thought that was it was a cool little story. It wasn't obviously, like you said, a full-fledged interview, but regardless, it was still super cool that a community member that, you know, that people that listen to this podcast, and obviously Will, Steve, everybody that's had such a connection with, that's fantastic.
Yeah, it's because I know he's listening. Patrick, did you ever think that you would be referenced in a New York Times article? I mean, that's pretty incredible right there.
That's high up there. That's amazing.
Next, we're going to have him on a future show, TJ, and then he's going to be the one name dropping, trying to one-up you in your celebrity status. Your big internet dumb.
I don't know what you're talking about. I can just mention a few others if you'd like, though.
Don't let him do it.
He's like, you know, this looks like a Lassiter shirt, but it actually has his name in the tag, and it was given to me personally by him.
It's a little big. But
Hey, no, Will, so the real question then, is he in the room? Is Papa Echo listening to all this nonsense right now?
Yep.
Well, then let's just say, are you going to do our 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. interview during the 25-hour marathon this year? Because Psycho Jellyfish guy is not going to cut it now that we know you. You're laughing because I don't remember his name.
It's Mutated Jellyfish.
You have to come on, right?
All right, Papa Echo, you are being put on blast right here live on Disney Infinity TV by Steve Krellin. He wants to involve you with our 24-hour marathon this year, so we'll be in touch.
He can't confirm it right now. So what did I do? Put him on the spot? Is that not the right move to do?
Confirm if he wants. I'm just not going to make him. You know, I'm polite and I give people. I don't make demands. I make requests, and you know,
I make requests.
Steve, you know, he was referenced in a New York Times article. He's kind of
a big deal.
He's a busy guy. He's got stuff going on. I got you.
I'm going to be honest. Although you're wearing a suit, he doesn't have to answer to you.
He hasn't seen my matching pants.
Nobody has.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the only part of the suit you bought. Usually it's buy one, get one for free. You just are like, give me this. Just this. That's all I need.
This is the top part. I don't need the bottom.
I got slippers. Oh, man.
Oh, too funny. He's asking if 2 to 3 a.m. is the prime spot, and I'm responding, Mr. Celebrity, you tell us the time.
It is the prime spot because 2 to 3 a.m. is where last time we just started making Australia jokes. Just to stay awake.
And you know you want to be a part of that.
Yeah, I absolutely. He does.
He does. All right, last thing before we can either wrap it up or keep talking because I'm having a blast. But I am going to put Steve C on the spot. So long-time listener, she's written into the show quite a bit. DMU girl, it's her birthday this Friday. And she is from the UK, and the game launches on Friday. She is turning 25, and so we would just like to wish her a very happy birthday. And Steve C has promised to sing you live on air the happy birthday song. He has two choices. He can either sing you happy birthday or he can stand up. So those are his two options.
Okay, I'm going to tell you, I thought it would have been funny earlier to take my pants off and stand up in my boxer shorts, but Sarah has informed me that that's not a good idea, so I will just sing the song, and even though I didn't promise either of these things, thanks for the setup, I don't remember her name.
There are major concerns. There are royalties if you sing this song, and you're going to get sued if Steve stands up regardless. You
exactly.
Come up. What's behind door C?
Well, next week, Disney Infinity.tv is going to get shut down because of your insane request.
Oh.
So I can put my pants on and do this again.
I did.
What's going on?
First off, Sarah. First off, Sarah,
I was
thank
trying
you.
to make a hilarious joke earlier until I was informed that it might not be as funny as I thought. So
I appreciate that. We do not make enough with the show to pay legitimate
legal
lawyers.
fees?
Yeah,
trust
so
me, I have a series of lawyers on retainer. Do you like how I said that?
no, but in all seriousness, very very happy birthday to her, and it sounds like she's going to get the best present of all, and she gets 2.0 on her birthday. So, see,
Happy birthday.
I was hoping you were going to sing like a DuckTales version of Happy Birthday, but thanks CJ for
It's
singing
now
us
your
there.
birthday. You're gonna be 25 today. Infinity comes out next week. We got you get it in 4 days. I am wicked jealous, but you something. You
Birthday.
woo!
Birthday.
I can't think of. Shut up! Come on,
No,
you
that
can't-
was amazing.
I need a little bit of time to at least come up with her
No,
name.
bravo.
Yeah,
That
that
was
was good.
genius.
That was good.
Just give me 60 seconds next time, and I'll be better.
Well, here's
You
the
had
thing.
way more than that.
Yeah, it sounded just like your version of DuckTales, so you just make up half of it anyway, so it was perfect.
Her favorite thing of all time is playing how my voice cracks.
DuckTales and Cusco.
DuckTales and Cusco. It's like her
Best thing
ringtone.
ever. It should. Wait, Will, you're supposed to make that ringtone for me.
Look at his face. Look at his face. Screenshot that face right there. The surprise, like,
do it.
I
do it.
promise you that. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you're like, I'm gonna go make you that ringtone now.
I think
Steve's
we
voice.
all
Like,
need to do the face, and then you can screenshot that, Will, and that will be like your lead-in for the show.
Let's, all right, three,
Julie's got it.
3, 2, 1. Okay, now I have to wait like 30 seconds for it to come on the live
This is
stream.
why we have viewers, Will.
That's
Organic material like this. Me putting up my pants and singing an awful song. Us screenshotting your face because you promised her you'd make a ringtone for her. This is great material.
Whew.
Okay,
Ooh, I'm sweating over here.
I just got it. Oh my gosh, this is too much fun. And here, it's probably going to be kind of small, but this is going to be the what our oh no, what's going on here? So that's not a live shot. That's
Yes, look at everybody. That's spectacular.
oh great. This has been so much fun, you guys.
Oh, we're not wrapping up.
We're not wrapping up. We're still going.
You said we have a 4-hour show ahead of us. This is just getting warmed up. I've got my empty cup of Incredibles and I'm ready to go.
Oh, this is
Yeah,
awesome.
let's start
about
sharing some
Frank.
secrets.
Yeah, well, I still have your show notes here, and you still have news to do.
There, yeah, you know, we're gonna skip that news. As you can see, I jumped around to the important bits.
Yeah.
Because having you two on were the real important bits. So,
You're missing one very important one, though, that I thought was really cool.
please enlighten me.
The Walt Disney World selling Infinity early.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, that's a deal.
Are you looking up the show notes right now, Steve? Are you doing your homework now?
I always read the
I didn't even know we got show notes.
Oh,
that's-
Steve
Sure.
shields you from everything.
it's true. It's true. So, all right. Well, since you brought it up, so Walt Disney World is going to be selling the game early on 9/20 this Saturday, so you can get it one day after most of the rest of the world if you want to. But it's in extremely limited quantities at the Once Upon a Time store at Walt Disney World. So
Once Upon a Toy.
that's what I said. Once Upon a Toy. So the internet, it jumbles words sometimes and makes things sound like
It's a
things
bad
that they're
connection.
not. It's that bad connection. It's my neighbor's connection.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have words with him.
It's your neighbor's connection.
But no, that's cool, right? That's cool.
Yeah.
For
I thought that was great. I'm like, I can tell you right now, if I was anywhere near Once Upon a Toy, I would be there.
yeah. Yep.
And I think that they should have Disney representatives out there taking pictures and Instagramming that, saying like, this is the person that was here.
Oh yeah, they need to social media that up.
That's
If
true.
they're there that early, I imagine that they would, right? I mean, wouldn't they be doing that? That makes total sense. That'd be awesome marketing.
You'd hope so.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's their time to have like an Apple person. You know how the news always interviews the first person in line at an Apple event. This could be them. It's like, you got the first Disney Infinity ever in the U.S. kind of outside of review units and toy box artist.
Yeah.
But still cool.
Yeah. So sorry, I just thought that one was too cool to not bring up.
No, that's awesome. Actually, that's a thank you for bringing that up. If anyone out there, if any of listeners or viewers of either us or Pixar Post is going to that event, please let us know. We'd love to see some pictures and kind of hear your experience about that. So just go ahead and email that info@disneyinfinity.tv. I'd love to hear about and take pictures if you do it. Pirate Steven, I wonder if you're going. You're probably not because you're getting the copy early, but let us know if you know anyone who's going.
Yeah, we saw his email about getting his something in the mail from FedEx.
Tomorrow.
Still got it, Pirate. You're awesome. We're all nothing. We get it. Yeah, we're good.
We got to give props. For the first time ever, he was the first place winner of a Toy Box Challenge last week.
Yeah, his Goofy one was so cool. Absolutely.
Cool.
So definitely, I mean, he's actually given us a shout out in a couple of his Toy Box creations, where by putting the Pixar lamp, and whether it's a bunch of garbled or whatever we want to call it here, but whether it's all fake or not, but he told us it was a nod to us, so I'll take it. And he's done that twice, and this one was a ton of fun. It was really cool, and definitely to Steve for taking first place there.
Such a unique idea. I loved it. It's so out of the box. It was awesome. So he was stoked. He texted me. He's like, "Finally, I got a first place." And I'm like, "No one cares. Show off."
I cared. I cried today.
You cried.
I watched Toy Box TV.
It's finally happened.
Help him. Get him a Kleenex.
They were name dropping him like crazy. It was really cool hearing that today. All right. Well, TJ, is there anything else news related you'd like to discuss? Am I missing anything?
Look at the show notes.
Let me check your show notes. Well, maybe I should say thanks again until next time. We hope. Oh no!
You're taking his closing line.
Hey TJ, can I be on Inside Infinity next week with you?
Inside Infinity? What is that? That show doesn't exist.
Excuse me, sir. This is the Inside Infinity podcast on Disney Infinity TV. Just because you have to read your shirt
I get out, man.
every time.
No.
Oh, I'm just kidding.
But yeah, you can come on our podcast anytime, just not Steve. Sarah, you're welcome.
It makes sense. It makes sense. I've only been your guys' biggest fan since day one.
I invite you, Steve.
Yeah, thank you, Julie. I've been your biggest fan.
Well, we each get a guest, so you can be her guest.
He likes brunettes anyway.
Whoa, wait. This is getting deep now. But anytime. You guys can come on anytime. We'd be glad to have you on. Once the game comes out, let's do that. We'll have you on our side too.
I would totally love that. I was making a joke about you running Inside Infinity now, but I would love to be on the Pixar Post.
I'll go ahead and anytime you want me to run Inside Infinity, I am more than capable. Thanks again to everybody for tuning in to the Inside Infinity podcast. Be sure to stay tuned to Disney Infinity TV all week for the latest Disney Infinity news.
Oh my gosh, you are a freaking pro. I love it.
That's how I end our shows. I just threw in Disney Infinity.
It was spot on.
Thank you. And be sure to stay tuned to our partner friends, PixarPost.com, for all your latest Pixar news and VG podcasts. Also, another great network for video game podcasting.
And you just give me the cut sign and I will start the recording. No, I'm just kidding.
I gave that like a half hour ago.
Yeah, you did.
Oh my gosh, this is too much fun. I don't want to stop, but you know what? We are gonna have an after show so we can stick around a little bit because I have another mug that I have to run downstairs and show Julie and TJ. So stay tuned. On that. No, I did that when the internet went out.
I knew.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't say you're going to get a bug. I know where you're going, Will.
Oh my gosh, this was too much fun. Julie, TJ, did you guys have fun?
Oh, we
Yes.
had a blast, and I do feel kind of bad in a way for taking the format away. Hopefully, people in the chat room were okay with it because usually I'm the one in the chat room bugging people in there. So thanks for letting me come on again, and hopefully we didn't take over too much and go crazy.
Not at all. You know what? You're special guests, and so I definitely want. It's more important to hear about. We can talk Infinity stuff all the time, but it's fun to get new perspective and maybe a Pixar-focused perspective on occasion too. So.
Well, after we get our hands on, after November 4th, once we can play with Merida, we'll be sure to force our way in and strong arm our way into another episode to talk about it.
It's gonna happen. So once you get Merida and have played the Toy Box game disc, you are gonna be on the show. So let me know when that happens. And but until then, where can folks find you again?
Oh, well, fantastic! Right below our name, you can find us right below us, you can find us at the Pixar Post on Twitter, and also our website, www.pixarpost.com.
And if you're listening and not watching the video, you just missed out. That was cheesy awesomeness.
Oh, the cheese is thick. Yeah, I had Swiss on my sandwich today.
Oh, jeez.
The cheese is thick and Julie just gonna...
Oh, goodness.
Oh, it's better than Vegemite, right, Steve?
I don't know. Yes, it is definitely better than Vegemite.
All right, so Steve and Sarah, did you guys have fun?
It was average.
Of course.
It was okay.
It was average.
Yeah.
No, I love talking about nonsense for 2+ hours and pretending that it's all about infinity. It's great. No,
That's
this
supposed
is
to be sarcasm.
this is one of the funnest shows I've been a part of. So thank you very much, Will, and TJ and Julie. Thank you very much for letting us harass you and be annoying for this time. Like I said at the beginning, the only reason that I even listen to podcasts is because of your show. So if anyone out there is actually listening, their show is unbelievably good, and it is the sole reason that I even have the friggin' app on my phone to listen to podcasts in general. So thanks to them, and it's awesome hanging out with you guys on person. This was fun, and Will, you're below average again at being a host, but thank you for
That's
giving it your best shot. You got to give it a try, right, buddy?
It's the old college try.
Keep getting up on that bike.
Don't you give up, pal. You keep going. Sooner or later, you're going to be good at something.
That MU bike.
Yeah, the MU bike.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. But in all seriousness, so it's kind of cool to hear that story, Sarah and Steve, because you two are also doing your own show now called Place That Potential Spoiler Cast. And I guess we could say that you wouldn't be podcast host without Julie and TJ as well. So,
nicely put, full circle.
Wow, this is great. I'm gonna come on every week. You guys just keep talking.
Oh.
Her and I recorded today another Place That Potential Spoiler Cast after 2 weeks of vacation, I guess, and it is the requested WALL-E series. And it is our longest episode because of our deep passion for the movie and the many different ways that we thought that it should work. So, unfortunately, Will, you have the work cut out for us by editing that nonsense out. But
there's going to be a lot of outtakes.
It was fun to do. And like I was sort of hinting at earlier, the next one that we're going to do is, I believe, the most important episode. And you will tease it on the next episode. We will have the video for you to tease next week. So once WALL-E is done, gear up. She's shaking her head. I think you should be most excited about the Place That Potential Spoiler Cast that we're going to be working on next. It's a big deal.
Okay.
So.
All right. Cannot wait for that. Although I must admit, WALL-E, what I listened to your WALL-E one so far, it kind of made me tear up a couple times. I'm not even joking because I just made my wife watch that for the first time ever last weekend. I kid you not. And she was really hesitant to watch that movie. And I totally forgot how heart-wrenching and amazing it is. And so I'm excited to get through the rest of that. And we're going to be dropping that later this week. We'll drop that on Thursday. Along with, if we're lucky, we're going to be live streaming towards the end of the week. We are going to be live streaming some Disney Infinity 2.0. So keep an eye open and an ear tuned to our Twitch channel, and we'll hopefully be doing that this week as well. So, but Steve, you look like.
Yeah, I was going to say, I did a show on my Media Meltdown podcast, and I submitted the top 5 movies that you cry in, and WALL-E was one of those 5. That movie gets me every single time. It kills me. But starting next week, Will, as you know, I'm a PlayStation 4 owner now. Woo! woo, I'm a big deal. And I figured out what the hell Twitch was. So I had fun doing, what was that show? The game called PT. I've been playing that ridiculous game and playing with Twitch. But starting next week, the only game you're going to see us playing is Infinity. So if anybody wants to watch me struggle and fumble around for 48 hours and try to figure out how to do anything, my Twitch thing is Steven Krellin. That's it. So I don't know if they want to do it, but
yeah, we'll
there you
post
go. That's figured it out.
We'll post that on the on our site as well under your guys' profile. Yeah, you kind of spoiled it. We were gonna have a new show, and it was gonna be a comedy, and it was gonna be Steve Plays Video Games, made for kids.
Nicely done.
You know, Will, where are you with this one? You should be going, keep at it, buddy. You'll be good at video games one day. Just keep at it.
And if not, I'm sure Lila can beat it for you. I love you, Steve. You know, it's all in jest.
And you guys find this funny? I do. I don't.
I mean, Will, you saw those videos that I showed you of him playing PT. Was that not the most funniest thing ever? I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
I'm good at games. Leave me alone. He
was getting so frustrated over the fact that it was the same hallway every single time. Over and over. It was hilarious.
Not really realizing that was by design.
I realized it was by design. I just didn't like it. And I get annoyed with video games that aren't constantly entertaining my AP, so just let me go.
So this is going to be Steve next week. God, why do I got to get up and put a new figure on the base? Why couldn't I just do it in a menu?
Shut up, Will. That's not me. I love that whole platform.
I know. I'm kidding.
Get out of here. Cut it out.
All right. Well, that's cool.
Just for encouraging that joke.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I think it's about time to wrap it up. It was such a blast. So I can't thank you both enough, Julian, TJ, and Sarah and Steve, for coming on with me tonight and just having a good time. And Steve, I got to thank you again for kind of making this all happen. So without you, we would not all be friends talking here tonight. So thanks for that. And hope everyone out there listened and enjoyed. Make sure you check us out each week. And make sure you check out pixarpost.com for not only their cool blogs, but also their great podcast where they are doing their was it the Pipeline?
Pixar Pipeline Project. Yep.
Pixar Pipeline, the 3 Ps. So make sure you check them out. And so that gives you lots to do in the week you have left from launch. So make sure you squeeze all that in. And until then, we do hope you have a very good week filled with infinite possibilities.